Yo, damn, lots of people dicking around on a Sunday. Zulu, what's happening? I'm doing Rich, what's up? Didn't realize we had so many people lounging on Sunday. I gotta get split rings on stuff. Looking at fishing content, I'm the same way, dude. I do the same thing. But sometimes, uh, honestly, I'd rather talk about it and shoot the shit with y'all than like mindlessly look for something to watch. And what I'll do is I'll like find a video on YouTube and I'll watch it for like 30 seconds. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch this. And I'm just like my daughter. Like I go through videos. I'm like, no. Watch it for a few seconds. I'm like, no. I can't ever get my fix, but talking about it is more fun. So, or actually engaging. Darius, South Jersey, what's up, dude? Because here's the thing. It's like you got all your fishing buddies you talk to occasionally. And everybody gets older, don't have time to fish as much, don't sit on the phone and bullshit as much as you used to. But here, it's like having 20 of my fishing buddies that I can all talk to simultaneously. So it's more fun. What's up, Kyle? So yeah, this is my pacifier for not talking to my not talking to all my fishing buddies like the old days. I do like retro bassin. I need to. He's got a lot of videos that I haven't watched. That I could go back and probably catch up to, but I've seen a lot of them. The one, did you see the one, Zulu? Did you see the one where he went to the guy's house and he had like the enclosed trailer and like all the shit out in his yard? Old man. And he went inside this like it's a white enclosed trailer and it's got shelves on it and he just had planos in there. It was a little older, but that video when I was knocking doors in Austin for a job. I was knocking doors out in Bastrop, Texas, right outside of Austin, towards LaGrange, if you're familiar with that area. Anyway, I was out there knocking doors. Didn't really want to be knocking doors, obviously. Nobody does. And I was driving around, and I drove by this guy's house, and it said fishing stuff, and it had like a hand painted sign that was out in the yard. I was like, I'm gonna check this out. So I had a little. I don't know that I might not have had any cash on me, and I pulled up in there, and the dude's front yard is just like all these like fishing rods and reels, and they're all sitting out on tables in his front yard, and he's got one of those like carports that you buy. This like it's like the $100 ones from like uh, AutoZone or something. You know what I'm talking about? Like the cheap ones. He's got one of those, and it's like a huge carport, and it's got 3 rows of tables on it, and it's all soft plastics and like shit like that. And then under all the tables are tackle boxes. So I started digging through this guy's stuff. I was like, or at first I knocked on his door. And I was like, "Is it okay for me to look at your stuff?" So Vince, and he was like, "Yeah." He was damn old as hell, dude. And anyway, I got some stuff, and I went back there like 2 or 3 times. Well, then when I found the retro bassin dude, I sent him a message and I said, "Listen, I sent him, I dropped him a pin of that dude's house. And I said, you need to go here." I said, "But you don't need to dick around because this guy could be dead any day. Like, he's old." So, and I think he smokes cigarettes. So, I would highly recommend you do this, but I also more highly recommend that you don't fart around and do this because, like I said, this guy, like every time I'd go there, I would think he might be dead. You know what I mean? Um, so luckily, he made it there and filmed the video, but I had already drained that place of anything of decency. Um, so it I did see it. He did have those. Tyler, you're right. You are right. He'll be there another damn 10 years. But the thing that concerned me was I think I was on like Facebook Marketplace when I was in Austin because I would always look for fishing stuff on Marketplace, and his daughter I think started taking pictures and posting it on Marketplace and saying, we got fishing shit for sale and advertising it, trying to like get people out there. And I was like, this isn't good. But I mean, it's good for him, I guess. But when I saw the daughter stepping in trying to help him move some of that shit, I was like, maybe he's not doing so good, and they're trying to get it going. But you talking about on Grumpy Old Men? That's my favorite movie on the planet. One place that Retro hasn't gone, that's a little bit of a sleeper in Austin, Tyler, if you're listening and you're going to Austin anytime soon. Uh, I don't know who's running the store now. Kyle, I drained it, bro. Um, I did that. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for Retro Bassin um, that I made it to Austin before he started filming because all his little honey holes he filmed in, I drained them. Um, but he would have had a lot better content if it weren't for me. But a sleeper in Austin, if I were still in Austin, I probably wouldn't say this, but is McBride's. They mainly deal in firearms, but it's right downtown. Um, this guy named Jay used to run the fishing section, and he's an older dude, but I guess he knew everybody, and all these old timers would come in there and just sell him tackle boxes, and he would just buy their baits for like $1 a piece, and then sell them for $2 or 250 or whatever. I think that was the most that I ever saw baits in that store used, $2 to $3, and he would hang them on the wall. And there was pegs when you go in the store and you take a right, and then you go left to the tackle section. Right there on that immediate left wall was like a pegboard, like back here, with just baits hung on the pegs, and you could just dig through the baits. But there used to be some good shit in there, dude. Um, good shit. So, and the good thing about it is that it was pretty regularly updated. Um, like he found stuff from guys that bring stuff in there pretty regular to like sell him. And I remember I went in there one day, and there's this old guy. He said, I was just sitting there looking, and I was that guy that would just sit in the store and act like I was shopping, but instead I was just listening to their conversation because they were talking about like old stuff. And the dude walked in, and he was like, "Jay, you got a minute?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Got some more stuff for you." He's like, "Hmm." So there was nothing I needed, but I knew I was like, all right, I'm gonna be in here at least another 45 minutes waiting on this dude to like get to the chase and like bring his stuff in here. So dude starts walking in with like arms of like 3,600 trays. I was like, oh boy, it's gonna be good. So I weaseled my way over there, and like, Jay, you can buy this junk? He's like, yeah, some of it. I said, let's see what we got. And I started looking through it. I started going through the first box, and there was probably like, there's probably 15 boxes. Um, Rich, I'm not going to put the hooks on. I'm just going to put the rings. Make it a little bit easier. Um, so I thought at this point, um, when this dude starts dumping these planos up on the register or up on the thing, it's like, man, I think I've hit the holy grail. Um, and I start digging through these boxes, and this guy has more DD22s and the number 7 fat-free shads than I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, where's the damn normal baits? And there were like, uh, it was literally probably like 5 boxes of nothing but DD22s and those big ass fat-free shads. And then I saw a topwater box, and I was like, ooh, uh, maybe there's some P70s or something in here. No P70s. So, ooh, where's the square? Because that's what I was looking for. I was like, where's the square bill box? And I couldn't, like, the dude out of all that shit, I don't think, I might have bought like a handful of baits, but that was probably the biggest collection of stuff, of older stuff that I've ever seen that sucked. Like, there just wasn't anything in there that was appealing. Like, if I could have got those DD22s for like a couple bucks, sure, I'd have bought them. But I wouldn't. I wasn't gonna sit there and like, you know, try and wheel and deal on these uh, DD22s. But so I uh, I let him go. Um, but I made up for it. I think think I got 2 or 3 P70s out of that place, hanging on the wall for $2 a piece. I know I got 30 titanium Hank Parker spinnerbaits that were worth $30 a piece that I paid $20 for the whole bag. I've still got that bag somewhere. Here it is. So this was sitting on like under the tackle, and I thought somebody had just brought in like a used Tackle Logic bag. Luckily for me, I know better, so I walked in. And looked at it, and I happened to pick it up, and it was heavy. And I looked at the tag, and the tag says used spinners, $20. So I said, let's see what's in here. So I opened it up, and the first page was 3 Hank Parker spinnerbaits, Man's Classics. It's a good start. I started flipping through it. 3 more, 3 more, 3 more, 3 more, 3 more. Bass Pro Shops Tornado spinnerbaits. More Man's Classics. Some bullshit. Terminator. Take this. So I was getting kind of like, you know, that feeling where you're like, all right, this is I'm gonna come out ahead on this. So I went and paid my $20 for it, and I didn't want to, like, when I was in the store, I didn't want to like really study what was in there. So I just took it out to my truck, cranked the truck up. Damn it. Did Eric fry my feed? Come on. Eric, you dick. Is it normal again? Damn, that was sketchy. Come on, Eric. Check your damn feed, bro. But anyway, so I took it out to the truck and sat down in the truck, got the AC running. Opened the box, or opened the bag, and I started looking at the spinnerbaits, and I realized they weren't what I thought they were, because I thought they were the Man's Classics, but they were, in fact, the Man's Tie Classics, the titanium Man's Classic. So I grabbed the old phone, went to eBay, looked up Man's Tie Classics, refined my search results to sold, and they had been selling for $30 a piece. So started counting them up, and I think I had 32 of them or something like that. So I listed 5, and dude bought them all at $30 a clip. And he said, "Do you have any more of these?" And I said, "I might have a few more. I'll have to go look." Lying through my teeth, I know how many I had. And he was like, "This is what, this is where I'm at, and this is what we do with them, and this is really, what's going on." It's like, all right. So I think I sold him 5 more. And then like a couple weeks later, I listed another 5. And he's like, "Where'd those come from?" I was like, "Oh, I found them." And he's like, "Oh, you got any more?" And I was like, maybe. And dude, I think I think I bought that bag for. I know I bought it for $20, but I think I sold it. It was like I think it was like $500 worth of spinner baits I sold out of that damn $20 bag. Um, I kept the 3/4 ounce ones. They're over there on the wall. But Marty Burns, what's up, man? That was that was a pretty good haul that day. TK, ever heard of work Sunday, fix Monday? Fix is in my vocabulary. Hella, well, you know what that means. Whenever you get new forward-facing sonar, that means you get a free Scoper die shirt. Since you're in the crowd. Since you're in the crowd. That'll be fun, though. Do you have any... Well, now at least you'll know what's swimming under your docks. You'll know which docks to fish. Is that your favorite way to fish, Hella? I wish there was more stores though. That sold used tackle. I don't think there's anything better than walking into a store and seeing used shit on the wall. That's like my favorite thing in the world, especially when they have a bunch of it. Because I mean, you could just spend like forever in there just digging through baits. And I think those stores are slowly leaving us. But in the internet, you know, that's you get like all it takes is Retro Bassin or whoever going by one of these stores and putting a video up, and thousands of people see it, and anybody within a few miles of that place is, you know, within an hour or two drive is going to go hit it. So I think they're still out there though. You just gotta look look at other avenues of places that might sell tackle. Flea markets and antique malls. You see it. I see some pretty decent shit sometimes when you go to like one of those antique malls where they sell like booths. You'll have somebody set up in a booth. Marty, that's a good move. I've been telling John I'm going to send him baits to paint forever, but I haven't done it yet. I was talking to a big pro that fishes with MLF, and he says he has caught like 80% of fish on live sonar. Kind of sad. Kind of sad. South Jersey, what was the idea? Going shopping, like filming, filming, finding these stores, or selling used tackle? Just a tiny 10-inch. I honestly like not having grass. One hot tailpipe, smart move. He's probably going to bullshit you and tell you he doesn't have that paint anymore. I got a lot of prior colors I'd like to have. A lot of them. I think I've got the most Balsa B3s. I'll probably send him a bunch of B3s. That's probably what. So he could do hot tailpipe still. That's good. Use mine most in the fall and the winter. I can see that. Got something to do with selling used lures. Oh yeah. That'll be fun. The problem I think with online sales of new lures, I mean of used lures, is I feel like if you have the know-how to, like from a used standpoint, if you find a guy that's got like used stuff and knows about the internet, um, they typically are going to figure out what they've got and usually be really inaccurate of their valuation of what they think they have. The real fun for me is just when you find that guy that's like, you know what, I'm 70, I'm 60, I'm however old, I don't give a shit about this anymore. I don't know the internet exists, but I have a ton of stuff. Come check it out. I guess when I bought that tackle box a couple months back, like the dude hadn't bass fished in 30 years. He was like, this is all my bass fishing shit from the 80s. Like, you bass fish anymore? I was like, dude, I haven't bass fished since then. He's like, this has literally been sitting here. Had nothing but baglies in it. And those wears and but it was heavy on the baglies. And that was, I couldn't tell you how exciting. I noticed Rapala DT Flat 7s have jumped up in price. The used ones or new ones? Or all of them? To get a good deal, you're going to have to find somebody's pawpaw who don't have nothing but a landline. You are correct. You are correct. The old landline. But to me, that's the most fun of hunting this shit down is if you can find something like that, and then you get the stories um, that go along with the baits. And half of that shit's bullshit anyway, but it's fun to listen to those guys like blow smoke up your ass for a little while. I don't mind it at all. Use. I don't know. I feel like those DT flats go and come. Like they get hot for a minute and then they kind of disappear, and then they get hot for a minute and they come back. I don't really know what the damn deal is with those, because they spiked a little bit not too long ago, and then they went sucky again. Or I don't know that they went sucky. They just didn't, you know. They spiked, and then they came back down to reality. And the DT flats were, I mean, they ran good. They weren't anything. There wasn't anything special about them. Tyler, the cool thing about that era is everybody. It seemed like everybody fished tournaments. Like it was just like what dudes did. They were in clubs, and all their buddies fished, and like they fished. It was like just that way. It was the way of the world down here, that like you just, you know, fished. And you didn't like, even if you weren't like some like hammer fisherman, like you still showed up, paid your money, and got out there and dicked around and fished. Like everybody, like all my buddies, grandpas fish tournaments, and they weren't like, and their dads, like they weren't the greatest fishermen ever. Like they didn't win everything, but they were there. They showed up. Pisses me off. Nobody shows up anymore unless it's a 300 boat team tourney. Yeah, that's the other thing that sucks. Is like there wasn't a million tournaments. Now you don't have to fish anything unless, like, that's the other thing that really bothers me is son of a bitch, is when is dudes just like cherry picking tournaments, because there's so many now. Like there's so many dudes I know of that, like, if they're not on them, they don't even fish. It's like, come on, dude. Throw your money down. Like, to me, that's just saying you don't have any confidence in yourself. You know what I mean? Because hell, the majority of the tournaments I've done good in, I didn't have great practices. I wasn't on them, but I figured them out that day. And, you know, I feel like it usually, like, if I can have 2 days of shitty practice, or like a day of shitty practice, typically that gets me close enough that I'll know what to do the next day. You know what I mean? But no, I didn't fish. I ain't on nothing. Well, go get on something. How about that? And the badass club jackets. Yeah. Thinking of buying an old Lunkers Club walking bait that the owner who had passed and someone else is selling it never used. That's a nice bait. I'd be happy with less boats. Hello, we're going to have to boycott Baitman and Epic Eric every time they talk about a sleeper bait. It goes from 15 to 50 on eBay. Sometimes more important to eliminate water in patterns in practice than find them. That's what I've never understood. Hello, but I mean, everybody does their thing different, but Like I've never, like I never get locked down to anything anyway. Like if I catch them good in practice, I'm really not excited about that. I'd rather not catch them good in practice. Um, I'd rather get a few bites, but I don't catching them in practice does me no good. So uh, I don't know. And I've never had one of those days where I like that I can think of where I can think of more times where I got really good bites that I didn't hook that I went back to the next morning that were completely gone. Um, one tournament in particular, um, it was during the shad spawn, and this is one thing that like really confuses me. Um, and I don't know if you can ever find the answer. Um, but during the shad spawn, um, so say me and my fishing partner go out. We have a hunch that the shad are spawning. We go out there at daylight. Tournaments on Saturday. We go out Friday morning at daylight. Find shad flipping everywhere, spawning like crazy. Any like you can blow a green booger in the water and a fish will come up to it and start flipping. And you see that, and you get some good blow-ups around the shad spawning fish. And I've had this happen. I made 5 skips under a dock swimming a jig, and I had easily 25 pounds of bites. Easy. Like it was probably the most insane like 5 casts I've ever made. Uh, but there was this one dock, and on each post had a clump of hyacinths on the end of it, and the shad were spawning on those clumps. And I skipped a white swim jig under the very back post, and I swam it by, and a freaking tank just like porpoises it. And I get my bait back, throw it under the next one. It does it again. Another one. Boom. I go to the next clump. Boom. Like every clump on those posts had a friggin' giant on it. I was like, wow. I said, all right, we're gonna smash them. Well, we get in there the next morning, and like there was probably like hundreds of thousands of shad spawning in this place. And get in there the next morning, and we catch like 1 2.5 pounder in like an hour and a half. Like it was dead as a hammer. Um, so we get back, and there's like a handful of dudes that had just like blistered them. And I was talking to a buddy of mine. I was like, did you catch any shad spawn fish this morning? He was like, hell yeah, dude. He's like, as soon as we pulled up, them shads started bubbling. He's like, we went to hammering their ass. It's like, can you explain to me why we're fishing seemingly the same type water? It's all this deep in a big bay. Like, there's nothing really different. Like, if there was like, like deep water, you were catching them around or something, but it's not. Why? What shuts these shad down that doesn't shut them down like down the river or up the river, whatever? You know what I mean? Like, I've never been able to explain what causes some shad to spawn. And I gotta say, a front hit. Like it got cold overnight. It didn't get like freezing, but it got cooler. So I kind of assumed fishing enough shad spawns that cool night would kill that bite. And it killed ours, but it didn't kill all of them. But knowing that bite was going to die there's I don't think there's any way of me adjusting to that and saying, oh, the shad didn't spawn there, but they're gonna spawn here in this. Like I've never heard anybody be able to explain that. Um, I don't. I've never. I wish somebody could, or that might be some like secret something that nobody wants to talk about. But uh, I mean, who knows? That's what I'm saying, Tyler. It's got to be just a crapshoot. Got to be a crapshoot. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to, but maybe there is. I mean, I feel like there should be. Maybe like hard bottom, or who knows? I don't know. I would like for somebody to figure that out, or me to figure it out, or something. Why do shad some spawn and some don't? When we fish shad spawn stuff, we have our areas we really hit, but we really watch the birds. Yeah, I think that's the biggest move is that if you're driving down the lake and you see white birds on the bank, it's probably smart to take 5 to 10 minutes and just go swim a jig down that bank, or throw a buzz bait or a spinner bait or whatever you like throwing, and just check, because if they're there, you gonna get heavy quick. You might not get heavy, but you get something. Um, but it doesn't take that much time out of your day. Uh, to go give them a little look-see. Like we won a tournament last year, and we were fishing all this shit, and we weren't really getting bit. The dude I was fishing with was like, I kind of want to go over there. I was like, oh yeah. And he's like, yeah. He's like, you think we should? I was like, I think we're idiots not to, because there's been 30 white birds on that bank all morning. I was like, I don't know what we're doing dicking around over here. He was like, you're right. We went over there and caught a 4. And it was a shitty looking bank. Like if the birds wouldn't have been there, like there'd have been no reason to go over there because it looked like ass. But in the winter and spring, loons can lead you to some monster bags. I don't know that I've ever seen a loon. Kyle, I don't know if the bait fish move or what. I don't think they move. Certainly not. I think they just get in a funk. Yeah, that's one thing that's never bothered me, Tyler, is fishing stuff I've never fished. Um, like I was fishing a tournament out of Selma on the Alabama River, and I was running. I had it in my mind that I was going to run down the river 60 miles one way, and I had 55 gallons of gas, and I figured I could run 120 miles on a tank of gas. And actually, no, I got gas. I was going to run down there, put 10 gallons of gas in my boat, and then run back up. So I started running down the river, and I'm looking around, and it's a 60-mile run, so you miss, like, the sun is risen while you're running, and I keep looking on either side of the river, and there's these big willow trees hanging in the river, and there's white birds in the tips of all of them. And I was like, dude, I am not driving past another one of these damn green trees with these damn birds sitting in the tip of them. So I'd never fished any of that shit. First one I pull up to, I swim a jig bite, nothing. I'm like, huh. So throw a frog around, nothing. throw spinnerbait, nothing. And take the old trusty tube and flip in the tree. 3-pounder. There you go. So that was a weird morning. Those shad were in there, and but the fish weren't like super active, but you could catch them flipping, which was weird, especially at daylight. But to me, that's like days like that are like just freebies when you got the birds in the trees. Kyle, you're probably right. They were probably full. My neighbor used to always say that. That was old Mean Gene's favorite excuse when the fish wouldn't bite in the fall. So I'd come up there and say, "Gene, you been catching them?" He'd say, "Nah, I ain't caught nothing." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "No, too many little shad out there." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I think they're full." He said, "Too many shad to eat." Like, well, them shad have been there all along. Like they didn't just like show up. I was like, "You think they're full?" He said, "Yeah, I think they ate too many of them little shad. Too many shad swimming around." I don't know about that, but it's good theory. It's good theory. Everybody just drives past them and looks at you funny for fishing in the boat run. Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the only shitty thing about fishing a boat lane on a grass lake is that you're gonna get all the dirty looks from everybody that drives past you. And I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of fishing in them, but I'm also guilty of driving by and saying, "Look at this asshole fishing in the middle of the boat lane. I wish he'd get out of the way." Like, they're awesome when you catch them in them, but they're also annoying when somebody's sitting right in the middle of it when you're trying to get somewhere. Do you have mayfly hatches down there? We have 4 or 5 year. Darius, we do. We have huge ones, but I've never seen it. Like I've gotten on a few like bass mayfly, and the bass don't eat the I mean they will, but they typically don't like target the mayflies. They're targeting the little brim that are eating the mayflies. So I've got on that bite before where you could like crank outside the mayfly tree where the mayflies are hatching or hanging, and like throw like a square bill or something and catch the, the bass underneath the bluegill. But it's not something that's like that I've ever found to be like super great down here. Not for like a big bag. So you can go catch fish doing it, but I don't think you're gonna damn win too much. Ever seen a cinder worm hatch? Stripers go nuts for them. Never heard of a cinder worm. They sound creepy though. All right, I've got all the mubbas ready to ship. Yeah, I can see a smallmouth being good for the mayflies. Nolan Miner of him catching those giant smallmouths on the Susquehanna. I probably have, but I didn't know it was Nolan Minor using a bug bait. That's interesting. They swim like a fish, but are a legit worm. That is odd. That's like those dudes out in Texas when I was in Austin. Apparently, those dudes around that part of Texas were the guys that put um, water dogs on the map. Um, some old timer told me that like back in the 80s or whatever, that Fayette Lake in Fayette County was like the number one mud puppy, water dog, whatever you want to call them, like live bait fishing place, like in the U.S. Like people drove from all over the place to come down to Fayette and fish with water dogs. Um, oh, Kyle, we get millions of them. There's mayflies everywhere, but like as far as like a bass bite goes, I wouldn't be targeting a mayfly bite to catch bass. Um, Maybe goggle eye and brim, but I've never caught like big bags like chasing them around. Um, but I went into some tackle stores over there and I was looking at they had all these big like deep freezers that had the tops cut off of them and little bubblers on them. I was like, I got shiners in here. They're like water dogs. It's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I was like, can I see one? I'm like, sure. Pulled up the net, and these things were like this friggin' long, dude. I was like, dude, I don't want to fish with this thing. It's like it's too alive. You know what I mean? Like it's big enough that you're like you feel bad about like jamming a hook in his face. Um, but they say they squeak when you. The bad thing about fishing them is that they squeak when you hook them. Like if you take a water dog and you like put your hook in them, they go. I said, nah, dude, I'm good on that. Um, South Jersey is good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many mayflies a fish has to eat to get full and say, "Damn, I'm tired of eating mayflies." I'm sick of eating mayflies. All right, put these up. So I need. Let's see if these hooks will fit in here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. The Shiner days were awesome. It's sad that, dude, I don't know if I'm just getting old and like losing my edge, but I have had the hankering to go live bait fishing. And like I have never once in my life wanted to like live bait fish for bass. But something in me recently just was like, you know what? If you weren't such a dick and you would just like put your artificial obsession beside, to the side for a minute, and you would just go get like 100 shrimp and go out there and fish with live shrimp, you could probably like it would tell you you could learn more about where the fish were and how they were set up. You could learn more faster than by dicking around fishing with artificial. So I was going to use it as a way to like learn areas and like learn how fish set up. And you catch a bunch while you're doing it. So I don't think it's the worst thing I've ever done. At least knowing where they live. I think that's the biggest thing. Um, we caught ling last week that had 60 to 80 crabs in their bellies. Uh, like that big or like big ones? Tyler, you do that? You take your cane pole out there with shrimp and dab them around in the canes? Kyle, the live baby crabs are hard to come by down here. Um, I mean, I could probably go seine them up in some grass pretty easy, but I don't really want to do that. Um, well, I have been trying for 3 days to get this floating lipless swim bait to wake, and I'm just giving up. I've tried everything, and I will try in another month. It's maddening fishing the Southeast. It is maddening. Uh, I got guide buddies that spec fish with live shrimp, and they get into bass all the time. Tyler, do they just send you the? Do they send you the waypoint and say, "Hey, dude, we were trout fishing, and this we couldn't catch any trout because there was bass everywhere. Go here." That's what I need. I need a trout guide that fishes the down on the causeway and just tells me where they catch all the bass. Um, Shiner fishing in the winter was where it was at. You could literally go through 2 dozen shiners in like an hour and a half catching monster crappie. Pretty fun. Pretty fun. Are we going to see a resurgence? So, like, you've got typically, I think that's what happens um, historically. If you have some technology that's uh, like a live scope and like the electronics on boats and big 250s and like all the shit that goes into like bass fishing, I think you have a certain segment of people that gravitates toward that. But then you have a pretty significant sector of people that was like, screw that, I'm gonna go back to like shiner fishing. Like I'm gonna go caveman on their ass, and I'm just gonna get like some bobbers and some little shiners, and I'm just gonna go out there and catch them on a damn live bait. I don't care. Um, so I think you might see that. I hope so. I think it'd be really cool. A whole nother realm of anglers doing something different. You're going to have to catch them chicken gizzards on. Kyle, them little bitty ones will eat the gizzards on a string. Like we catch the big like eating size ones on a string, but I didn't think you could catch them little bitty ones. As the beam would say, the little teeny ones. So, horseshoe and cheap bass are on. Howdy. How's that even possible? One set of hooks. Use live green and white claw crabs to tog fish. Those tog are weird looking. They must taste real good. I'm sending number 2s, Rich. I'm sending number 2s. What's new in the cheap bass? Hey, AJ. Can we talk about something? So I was looking up one of your posts about the dude being a dick. Can we talk about this for a second? The I didn't know if you were being a troll or if you were just new at painting, but I was looking at the bait you painted and I was thinking to myself, did he paint like a dark, sexy shed? And he's being like a troll? Or is this, or is he just new? Oh, sorry, Travis. I had a picture saved on my phone. It was a bait that AJ had painted many moons ago, and not an identical match, but I was curious if he was being funny or being serious. Rich. Oh, he said he was just new. Just new. I saw that and I was like, I'm gonna screenshot this. I gotta dick with AJ about this. YouTube froze. Travis was talking. Travis, is your stream freeze? Hella, have fun, bro. Enjoy yourself. Heading to the lake to test my installation skills. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Kyle, Travis said it's your damn fault today. He said his stream was fine. What were we talking about? Rich, I'm putting number 2s on here because the hogs you're gonna catch, you're gonna need 2s, bro. Number 4s ain't gonna cut it. Fishing the southeast, AJ did. It was when he was a mere fingerling in the painting world. I'm installing a humidifier on my furnace for the winter. I've never even heard of such witchcraft. Tell YouTube to come back to the real world. No shit. I got on. I did some research yesterday, trying to figure out why my stream was dicking up. And they were talking about bit rates and upload speeds and all this kind of shit. And I realized that I tried to set my. You have to do like you have to set your bit rate up for half of your upload speed. And started dicking around with that kind of stuff. So hopefully it's better today. Hopefully it's better. We'll see. It doesn't seem to be. Knock on wood, I haven't got any of the notifications of my any buffering things. So we'll see. Tyler, is y'all's marsh bite picking up? Travis, I couldn't imagine living in a place that you had to add humidity to the air. I would probably get nosebleeds every day. Uh-oh. The hookup tackle got a decent amount of good baits this week, and actually a couple I was looking at on some overseas websites. Nosebleeds do happen. Like, I bet that's like legit. Like, if I went somewhere that was really dry, I bet I get nosebleeds a bunch. Oh, AJ, I forgot to. How long does it last? Does it have to be on my day? Because I didn't buy any tackle on my birth on my. I didn't buy any baits on my actual birthday, and my birthday was a few days ago. So. Would it be a dick move to call Midway and say, "Hey, it was my birthday and I forgot to use my discount. Will you honor it, please?" I mean, I would think that would be dumb not to, because you're either going to not get a sale or get it. So, spent 2 weeks at White Sands, dry air, nosebleeds every day. How about that? 14 days, 7 on each side. Fishing the southeast. Thank you. It was the 13th. Oh, also, Tyler, to piggyback on what Kyle just mentioned, I asked my buddy, I was like, "You ever heard of this place?" He's from here. He's like, "Oh yeah, I fished it." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Remember that crazy jack plate I was telling you about? That like Cajun jack plate?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "A dude had it on his boat that took me there." I was like, "No shit." He's like, "Did y'all catch him?" He's like, "Not really." Interesting. Very interesting. Tyler, what do they do when it's low? I would think that would make it better. Is it too low to navigate, or too low for what? I would think that would just hem them up. South Jersey, what are you looking for? What gets your bean jumping at the hookup right now that's new? Tyler, I think it was. It was something where I can't remember what it was, but he came back and he was telling me about this jack plate, and he's like, "Dude, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen." Um, oh, they stay put. They just live in dick deep water. Nah, makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Oh, y'all talking about dry, 30% humidity. Y'all lost me. The painter has left the chat. That's kind of awesome, though, Tyler. You can't make like you can't push pole and like make super long casts with the top water like a horny toad or something and like run it by them and get them to bite, or maybe even like fly fishing or something like that. I would think that would be a destination for a fly fisherman. All right, dudes. Well, I got all these ready to go. These ready to go. Got all the hooks that go with them. So we're gonna have an exciting day of shipping tomorrow. Where was the fishing Jim Ridge? Too thick. You come out looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Kill me! Kill me! Some Amakatsu's little bats, metal mouse, and Amakatsu finesse Bazelle crawler. Interesting. It looks like some of the baits will be gone by the time I get some. Hopefully, they will be there later this week. South Jersey, how many how many enthusiasts for JDM tackle, such as yourself, what percentage? How big do you think that population is? Marty, no, I don't know where those things are. I was hoping they would show back up at your house, but have not seen or heard of the small walkers, unfortunately. But if they didn't drop them off at somebody else's house, they should show back up, and they should show up if they drop them off at somebody's house. But pretty annoying for both of us. Mainly you. All right, hold on. I gotta go get tails. I'm back. All right. Well, I didn't know it, but it rained while I was in here. Imagine that. Imagine that. So now, if I were to super glue these baits while they're wet, they would probably get the little white, crusty film on them from the super glue. So I gotta dry these little bastards off. A few thousand JDM nuts. That sounds about right. But they buy in bulk. Yeah, those JDM dudes, they buy heavy. The only guarantee I can give on Lycosine is we would definitely see a giant. That'd be okay. What are you considering a giant? What qualifies as a giant there? 8 to 10. Is there a lake record there that you know of, Tyler? Hella, do you have a prized JDM bait that you catch fish on like none other? Well, we got 6. 1, 2, 3. Six baits, 6 tails, and I'm 1 short. I am 1 short. And I just poured those, so I'll be good. Got a text. Morgan, what have you thrown? $9.54 on a frog. I know the area Tyler would never fish it. Every time I think of making them dry, I'm never going to the basin. Man, I really envy you, South Louisiana guys. There's so much cool stuff to fish down there, and cool places to eat. I don't know. Bone Yellow Magic Popper. Hella, did you ever get into the Bug's Eye Popper? That had a little bit of a cult following on the East Coast back in the early 2000s. Where's my damn super glue? Yes. Anybody? Hour and a half from the basin, Toledo and Rayburn. That's pretty impressive, Tyler. I mean, Tyler, you could possibly live in like the holy land of bass fishing. Kyle, anybody else know what the story with Venice is? Tyler hears it's on a downfall. I don't know how it wouldn't be. It gets hammered. I put some, these tails have a little bit of purple in them and a little bit of chrome. So they're like smoke purple chrome. You might be able to see some of it. So they should flash really good in the water. If anybody got this color. The perp. Roseau cane beetles are killing Venice. Lake Mead will ever go on the tourney list for bass? Probably not. Probably not. You know, Brendan, I would love Marty to make a balsa version. I think that would be dope. The Evoke. My favorite pattern to paint? It depends. My favorite pattern to paint for fun is one that I've never painted before. My favorite pattern to paint for work is when somebody says, I want 30 splatterbacks. That gets me excited. But favorite pattern to paint? I go in spells. Like there was I went through a baby bass phase where I was really enjoying doing baby bass, but I think bluegills have probably always had my heart, so I could say bluegill. Super glue smells good. Is that weird? Hurricane last year didn't help us. Ask the JDM guys if they really throw the cover scat or heavy poop. Tyler, I can tell you yes. It's a deep thing. That ended up looking pretty nice. Yeah, they do, and they work, just not the most durable, but do catch fish. The best ones, in my opinion, is the 4-inch. There you go. Rich throws the cover scat and catches fish in Pennsylvania. Hurricane last year didn't. Venice was just getting bouncing back. Is it the trout and red fishing or bass fishing, or is it all of it that got dicked up, Kyle and Tyler? Thanks, Marty. I was thinking of actually changing up my bluegill. I think it's about time for a bluegill rebirth in the paint world. I typically do that every so often. Get tired of painting something. I don't get tired of it, but mix things up, do something a little different. My favorite bait out of any of that, like weird Japanese soft plastics, is the damn the bellows gill. Those things are dog shit durability. Um, but that son of a buck gets bit, dude. AJ, just wait, man. I don't have an idea. Nothing. I don't think it's going to be anything like catastrophic. But I've been painting the same old gill stencil forever. And now that you can pretty much buy the exact same one, I need to mix it up, do something different. Do something different. Give them something else to copy. E-crack is top notch. Yeah, I wish they would just put like a smidge more like hardener or something in their plastics. I mean, you can literally tear up bellows gills just from pitching them. You know what I mean? It's frustrating. Like I said, that bastard gets bit. It gets bit like I feel almost like they bite it almost like when the sweet beef first came out. Probably not that good, but when the sweet beef came out, it was insane. Uh, Tyler, 100%. They're bad, dude. It's probably the most non-durable soft plastic I've ever fished. Scatterola. These names crack me up. Uh, he's a weightless screw lock hook, and it keeps me better than a Texas rig. I could see that. I could see that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. All right, 2:30. I got everything I needed to have accomplished today. I got uh, the mubs ready to ship. These will be heading out. I got all the tails on the swimmers except for one. Those will be ready to tune tomorrow, and then everything will start shipping out Tuesday. So, all right, guys. You'll have a lovely rest of your Sunday. This may be out of line, but maybe go fishing this afternoon. I know it's a foreign concept for us guys these days, but somebody try and go fishing. Tyler's going to work. Well, he's out. Somebody go fishing for all of us who have to not go fishing. Oh, South Jersey's going to go fishing for us all. Y'all have fun. Kyle, you too, bro. Take it easy, man. Later, Insta. Later, Tyler. Darius, see you later, dude. Thanks for sticking around. AJ, South Jersey, fishing the Southeast. Y'all be good. Peace be with you.